While it's a heavily regulated environment, but it's also very data rich.
Got it.
So each of these assets, individual assets, whether down to the airframe, the landing gear, or the engines, has their own catalog book. Within that book, we have maintenance records: who produced it, who serviced it, who flew it, how many cycles, who the owners are, who the lessees are, etc. So with all that information, you can deduct, who is the potential adoption of that asset, who's flying this asset today, who's retiring it, who's going to take it on for the next 4 or 5 years. Typically for us, we like to have contractor cash flows. So we know what we're buying the asset for. We know what the end date is, and that end date is really specific on the cycles. So, to give you an example, one cycle is one takeoff, one landing. So, let's say an engine has a green time of 2,000 cycles. We have a pretty good visibility into what the current market rate is for those cycles. That is the cost per takeoff and landing.
Yep.
You monetize that out, or you annuitize that out, so you have a really good idea of what your cash flows are going to be over the timing of that lease.
Got it. So you're basically acting as the middleman between the big providers like Delta and the smaller providers, say, some foreign company that's a little bit smaller necessarily, and you're buying planes that you could provide to these other smaller providers depending on what their needs are.
That's true.
Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, I think that's accurate, but I wouldn't say our customers are all small airlines.
No, I know. I was just using that as example, but I completely understand.
Particularly, we're active in the cargo space.
Okay.
And cargo operators, from our perspective and from our customer base, are larger carriers: DHL, ASL, which is one of the largest cargo operators out of Europe, Qatar. Obviously, these other main operators have their own cargo fleets.
Yep.